Hello, my name is Connor Lewis, and today we are going to be learning how to calculate the federal taxable income using a W-4. Let's get started. What is the federal taxable income? Federal taxable income is the portion of your income that is taxed by the federal government. A person can determine this amount by using their W-4. According to Dr. Davis, federal income taxes are based upon an employee's marital status, the number of withholding allowances, and any additional amounts the employee may want to pay into the system. A withholding allowance is the portion of gross wages that are exempt from federal taxes. A person can claim a withholding allowance if they have a spouse, child, or other dependent that they provide for. The number of dependents is calculated on a person's W-4. The amount of the withholding allowances is deducted from gross wages when calculating federal withholding taxes. The more withholding allowances someone has, the less federal income tax a person will be subject to pay. A little confused? Well, to understand it better, let's look at an example. Jim here is a single 30-year-old man. Jim is a product sales manager and earns $60,000 a year in gross income. Jim is paid monthly, which means that Jim earns $5,000 a month in gross pay. However, Jim will not take home $5,000 a month because of taxes. To calculate the amount of taxes Jim is subject to pay, we will need to look at the information in his W-4 first. When we look at Jim's W-4, we see a lot of important information. However, for the purpose of calculating taxable income, we just need to look at line 5 of the W-4. When we do this, we see that Jim is claiming 2 allowances. These allowances are calculated by using the personal allowance worksheet located above the employee's allowance certificate. Jim claims 2 allowances which are calculated from lines A through G of the personal allowance worksheet. Line A has a 1 on it because Jim is claiming himself as a dependent. Line B also has a 1 on it because Jim is single and only has 1 job. Lines C through G have 0s on them because Jim is not married and has no children or dependents. These lines get added up and are then put on line H of the allowance worksheet. Next, the amount on line H is written on line 5 of the employee's withholding allowance certificate. We can see from this example that line 5 has a 2 written on it. Now that we know Jim is claiming 2 allowances based on line 5 of the W-4 and is paid monthly, we are all set to move forward with calculating his federal taxable income. Next, we will find 2017 amount for one withholding allowance table, which can be found on the Employer's Tax Guide PDF located at irs.gov. When we look at this table, we see a list of numbers. These numbers represent the amount that can be deducted for each withholding, based upon pay frequency. Using the information that we know about Jim, we will need to find the monthly pay period because Jim is paid monthly. We see on the table where it says monthly. Next, we will go across and see the amount that correlates with monthly. We see the amount that correlates is $337.50. This number indicates that for monthly pay, $337.50 can be subtracted from gross pay for each withholding. Now we said Jim can claim 2 withholdings. This means that we need to take $337.50 and multiply it by 2 because we are taking the amount that can be subtracted for each withholding and multiplying it by the total number of withholdings. When we do this, we get $675. This is the amount of Jim's pay that is not subject to tax. Next, we will need to subtract $675 from $5,000. We do this because Jim earns $5,000 a month in gross pay, but not all of the income will be taxed. The $675 is not subject to federal tax and will be deducted from the gross pay. When we subtract $675 from $5,000, we get $4,325. This is the amount of income that will be taxed for Jim each month by the federal government. Why is it important to know how to find the federal taxable income? Because you need to be able to verify the deductions on your paycheck are accurate. If you are trying to calculate net pay for budgeting purposes, this piece of information is essential. I hope you enjoyed this short video on how to calculate federal taxable income using a W-4.